Welcome in, everyone. My name is Gracie Terrell, the founder, along with two other incredible sports astrologers of Sports Astrology Network. I am live today on August 1st. I haven't been live, I think, since March. This is a new one. This is our new launch of our channel. We are super excited to be bringing you these amazing updates. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the chart for our launch this morning. It was at 9 a.m. here in Kansas City, and we've got the lovely Uranus on that MC, which I'm super excited about. But most importantly, we have Mars and Gemini at 23 degrees in the 10th house conjunct Ceres, and I'm super excited about that. Plus the super fun Pisces moon we've got going today. It's going to be a good one, you guys. And while not everyone is going to be like, okay, I can't wait to mix the stars with sports, I am. And Kayla is, and Sarah is. And so without further ado, there's been so much conversation about sports astrology in general with Saturn and Aries. We've had a huge push of all sorts of things when it comes to sports astrology. But if you haven't seen it already, we have this amazing magazine that just came out, Summer Solstice, and it actually happens to have not only our editor and amazing cover girl, Mariah, right there on the cover, but it also happens to have an entire sports astrology interview set. And it starts with Empress Atlantis interviewing me on the future of sports. Yay! So it has that there. It's available on our website, northernastrology.com. You can also check out sportsastrology.org, and you can get caught up with all the things that we've been doing lately, including reading the articles and interviews with me, as well as Kayla, our WNBA astrology Chicago sports everything. She's currently at a WNBA game with the Aces at the Chicago Sky, and that is going on in the background, and we have coverage of that. We have coverage of the entire West Coast thanks to Sarah of Radio Room Astrology. Centered in Seattle, we do have a little bit more of a West Coast vibe going on just because she loves all things West Coast and is going to be our Pacific time zone reporter. So we got two people in the Central time zone with Kayla and I, and we got one person out west. Back east, I don't know. Are you guys looking to join a sports astrology network where we'd love to have any open-minded individuals that are already in motion contributing to the stars and sports, whether it's through your own research, through your own individual hallucinations? You never know, because this is astrology and these things can come to you in a myriad of ways. But most importantly, I wanted to just let everybody know that this is going to be a new endeavor on top of everything else that we do. So, you've seen the magazine, which is 80 pages of free content that we offer each and every seasonal change. So we've got spring equinox, then it's summer solstice, then it's fall equinox, then it's winter solstice. So every time the seasons change, we have a new publication that comes out, which is pretty amazing. And considering that I've been working on the Kansas City Chiefs sports astrology scene the last couple years, doing live streams there. It just felt natural to kind of switch over, and we're going to be switching over to this Sports Astrology Network with all of my sports content, as well as anything that we want to cover. This summer we covered the World Cup finals, and that was an absolute blast as we had our writers be like, okay, so let's pull up these charts, let's go on with the rest of the world. Everyone was going for Argentina, but with the method that we used, which was the first game ever played as a national team, cast against the event chart, it was really powerful. So to see so many people interact with that, and we hadn't even launched yet. We've been putting out this content. We've been putting out different blogs and little videos of different events that we've covered. But now it's time to be like, hey, we're here and we're about to trailblaze another area, because why not? Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries, we might as well just create new paths wherever we see fit. So on top of just becoming the experts that we wanted to see in this field, but it's brand new and there's not a lot of actual people talking about this in a front facing manner. You see people behind a lot of like AI accounts that are like, oh, the sun in Pisces with this guy. But I'm like, we're going to the nitty gritty. We're pulling up the game chart. We're casting that, the team charts, sometimes with the teams being founded in, yesteryear, so to speak. We can't get the exact time, but like with recent teams, like the Rams that moved to Los Angeles, the Chargers that moved to Los Angeles, and I guess every California team, and even the Raiders who moved out of California into Vegas, they all have modern and exact birth times because we do have the actual announcement time thanks to modern technology. But for a lot of these, it is a labor of love, and it is a mission of how much can we uncover, how much can we unearth. And you guys might have seen some of the stuff that I do on the news. Sports astrology can do so much. Not only can it help with relationships between teams and players, it can also help with the relationship between the athlete and their body, as medical astrology is a huge part of sports astrology. And am I an expert in medical astrology? No. Am I an expert in NFL astrology? Yes. Can I merge the two in some sort of fashion and create something new? Yes. And that's what we're all about here. We're open to changes. We're open to being wrong. We're open to being right. We're open to new forms of research. We're open to all methods, all walks of life wanting to join in on the conversation, as long as it's respectful. In the world of Mars-driven anything where sports happen to fall under Mars, you always have to have a fair fight. And if you're constantly, punching down or picking on people that, don't really need any sort of picking on, they are just simply going about their business and minding their own, that's when things start to get a little bit choppy. And that's when people get, a little bit more aggressive when it comes to their fandom. We are all fans of our teams, and to be able to cover that from an unbiased perspective is a little bit challenging. And of course, I've experienced that over the last few years of covering the Chiefs. It's been interesting, but with that said, medical astrology, I did have some understanding that this might not be the year. The South Node is finally out of Virgo, so we'll see what happens with the Chiefs. But really, this is about knowing that we have this brand new platform to share all the things that we love about sports and astrology. And it's just so much fun. And yeah, it's like a very basic concept, Sports Astrology Network. It makes it easy to remember, easy to find, and we look forward to having more of these events and live streams hosted on there. Starting in September, we will be having a weekly live stream, whether it's me, whether it's the WNBA astrology crew, whether it's, diving into a game from this 1970s that we happen to pull an exact time from and want to understand how it all went down. Whatever it is that we decide to do, whether it's horse racing, baseball, soccer, football, we could even get into competitive hot dog eating contest, although Joey Chestnut has kind of dominated that one for the last decade. So, with my combined experience in sports media and the growing excitement around sports astrology, I thought that this was the next natural step to just go ahead and merge all those interests together. So you will still be able to find me, Gracie, at Northern Astrology on YouTube. And that's what it's actually broadcasting on now, because we're such a new YouTube channel that we couldn't actually stream to that. So we are collabing on that post today. But it's like, this is our time to step out and try new things. Saturn in Aries does favor the bold. It does favor the brave. And so does fortune. So if you are trying to take a risk this year, if you are going out on a limb to try something new, if you love sports, if you love astrology, you don't know how the hell to combine them, cool. We are figuring it out at the same time as well. So there's this a huge underlying message of there are no wrong ways to do astrology except when you're using it for unethical practices. So I don't need to say anything about that. The sports community is well versed in scandal, upsets, and secrets and hush hush things going on. And the astrology community is great at keeping secrets. So I feel like wizards and sports fans really are not that far off from each other. And that's how we can kind of just mold this all together and have fun with it. So that is the goal with Sports Astrology Network. We're going to already have some great content over on Instagram if you guys want to pop over there. Sarah is on Mount Tahoma with her Mount Rainier beer side quest, getting ready for the Sports Astrology launch. That was the main theme of everything this morning. And just merging that like intensity of Martian powerhouse sports with the intellectual side of Mercury of how do we decipher this? How do we reflect it all back to you all? That goes through the moon. There's just so many things that we have to express and share with you all, including a lot of roundtables, a lot of podcasts, a lot of interviews, and a lot of one-on-ones with athletes. So if you're looking for content that's going to be featuring athletes as well as, random teams and profiles and insights there, you've come to the right place. So this is not going to be a long live stream. I am known for doing like 2 to 4 hours of just straight up yapping. But because everything has been such an absolute honor to bring the cosmos and the wide world of sports here on Earth together in some sort of fashion is so exciting. And I'm looking forward to this project, honestly, more than I've looked forward to anything in a long time, because it's like I finally get to merge all my worlds together. And that's exciting because living in one authentic bubble is the goal. So if you guys have enjoyed just the little videos that we put out so far, the blogs we put out so far, the insight we have, I now have a place to talk about Sabian symbols in astrology. So maybe my sports broadcast won't be like 400 hours long anymore because I get all of that out of my head. Who knows? I also have to leave this live stream platform because while this is the launch of Sports Astrology Network, you know me, and if you don't know me, you'll get to know me through this live stream. I just love to do things in layered fashion. So yes, we are launching the network today. Yes, we just came up with the concept in April. Yes, we've spent the summer getting this together and figuring out what we're capable of and working together as a team. But more importantly, I have even more announcements on September 1st. I don't even know what day that is, but that's when my next announcement will be. And hopefully it'll be one that, I'm actually planning to make and not one that I have to just come up with because I ran out of things to do. So without saying too much, once again, I have to leave because of my Pisces Mercury. It'll just tell you everything I've been doing this summer instead of getting to show you in September. But this is one huge step of this, and I'm so proud of finding these amazing women to work with and recreating my roots. If you guys know anything about my past, like I mentioned before, I was on ESPN Kansas City for my weekly show that was all women, and it was called Sprats Takes. And it was like a play on everyone having these hot takes about sports. And usually when they're on their computers, they're typing it wrong because they're so heated about the things that they're saying. And it was a very fun, tongue-in-cheek show. This one is going to be the same vibes. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be amusing. It's going to be insightful. It's going to be deep. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out sportsastrology.org. There's ways to support us there if you have any interest in financially contributing to our research and our endeavors. That means just we get to go to more sporting events because of you guys. So if that's how we end up doing things, if that's how we end up finding sponsors, Mount Rainier Beer, you are on the clock. We would love to have you as our very first sponsor just because we have a whole video dedicated to finding Rainier beers on Mount Tahoma already. So we might as well just go ahead and work that together because we're huge fans of the outdoors and beer and sports and small businesses. And I loved this Rainier Beer Odyssey video that I found on YouTube when I was looking up what Sarah was talking about with the Rainier beers and how it's like a thing out west. But it was so fun. And I've had such a blast creating this already and getting the concepts together and the creative design together. And it's very gold. It's very sparkly. You might have noticed that there's a little bit of gold in my crown as well with Jupiter and Leo. So we had to do it big. We had to do things the right way here at Sports Astrology Network, you guys. I've been with a lot of networks. I've had a lot of sign-offs, but the one that I am most excited to have today is that's all for me. Tuning out. Here we are, Sports Astrology Network, because this is a network that I have truly put my heart and soul into, and I'm looking forward to bringing you all the tremendous research we've done over the summer and all the things we're about to do. So once again, my name is Gracie with Northern Astrology. This has been our official, very quick, short but sweet live stream talking about our new network coming, officially launching full-time in September, but for now we're going to be covering live events. We've got a couple fashion events coming up in Portland, as well as some more fun sports astrology interactive content on Twitter as well as on Instagram. So if you are on YouTube, we are building up our community there. Please feel free to yap as much as you want on our YouTube comments, share anything that you want to, reach out to us on our website if you have any content that you'd like us to cover. If there's a game you want us to cover, I don't care if it's a little league t-ball game and you want us to come out and just cover it, we'll be there. Don't worry. You can always count on some witches to show up and do some strange things, but in a fun and energetic way. So once again, thank you so much for joining us on this quick little live stream, and I look forward to see you guys next time. Stay tuned for everything and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe button. I can do that now because I need you guys to subscribe so we can build this network up and reach more sports astrology enthusiasts. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.